Visual Studio Code. It is one of the well-documented code editor around. So it has a number of things. So if you install this, the first screen you'll get is the main window with Get Started section, which has some walkthroughs which are able to help you understand the program and be able to familiarize yourself with it. So the basic idea or the fundamental idea behind it is to make sure that you boost your productivity in terms of how fast you are able to write your codes. And this code editor comes with a lot of extensions, which I'm going to mention a few of them, and we are going to see how these extensions can help you create a website or a web page, or generally any program that you're coming up with. So I want us to go through get started part, which consists of some walkthroughs, and see some of the features that you can be able to uh, apply or make use of when you are on this interface, or this basically this area where you can be able to start, save, or even do your work. So originally, this application has been evolving over time, and there are a bunch of extensions that are um, created mainly to help the productivity of a programmer and make it possible for one to be able to do their program as fast as they can, and in efficient and in a good manner. So getting started is the first interface you'll get. So I've been able to use this application for some time. So there are some recent files that I've been able to see. So this is the main window you get. So you'll see this part where you have start. So from start, you can create a new file. You can open an existing file. You can open a folder. You can clone your work or your folder to a GitHub repository, where you can be able to, if you are so many people working on the same project, you can create a Git repo where both of you are able to update or work on the same project together at the same time, with all of you updating as frequent as necessary, depending on the nature and the work that you're doing. So basically on this page or on this interface, you'll have Visual Studio Code, editing, evolve. That is the main information that will welcome you, or that you'll be able to find on this page. Then there's this part written: new file, open folder, clone Git repository. Then there's this part where recent files that you have been able to work on are listed. So from there, you can be able to pick the one that you want to focus on, or the one that you want to work on. Now, if you have installed this program and it is just a new uh, application and there's nothing done on it, you'll only have this part: start, new file, open, or open fold open folder, clone, and the rest of this part where we have recent files being listed will not be there. But then there is also this part where we have the walkthrough. So if you click on these walkthroughs, you can be able to look at the fundamental things that you can be able to do with this application. So that is what I want us to go through uh, and see exactly what they are talking about. So when you click on that bit written walkthrough, you will be led to this page or this section where you'll be told, learn the fundamentals, jump right into VS Code and get overview of the must-have features. So some of the features are listed here. As you can see, redefine your editing skills. So one of the things that this app will help you in is improving your editing skills, or basically your programming skills, and also you can be able to apply those uh, ideals way of writing uh, codes. So the one of the other thing that you'll get from VS Code is convenient inbuilt terminal. So on this inbuilt terminal, as we will find later, you can be able to run your Git bash. You can be able to run your uh, you can be able to run uh, your Node.js and be able to get the functionalities as you want. There's also a limitless extendability. So there are so many extensions that you can incorporate to actually help and improve your workflow. You can tune the setting also to fit your needs, to fit what you want. You can lean back and learn. So at the same time, you can be comfortable and learn about this app. So that is some of the things that you are able to achieve. Another thing, you can be able to boost your productivity. You can optimize your development workflow, or basically your development process. Yeah, because you can have side by side editing. You can track your code with Git. You can customize your shortcuts. So those are some of the functionalities that you will be able to get once you start using this application. Having said that, I think that is enough for you to understand in regards to the interface that you are always given when you install VS Code. So for you to get this application, you have to get it from you can get it from VS Code website. So you just go to your you launch your Chrome, then you go to VS Code. Then you type that, you select download, then you will have Google retrieving some pages from the internet for you, and then it will be able to render on your screen. So once they're there, you will select this one, https /code.v visualstudio.com. So you click that bit. So once you are able to click that, you will be led to this page here, from where you can be able to get more detailed information about VS Code. Now, VS Code can run in Windows, it can run in Mac OS, as you can see. So you can also run it on Linux and other variation of operating systems that you have, maybe the ones that you are using. So there is also 32-bit and 64-bit. So that is the key thing. So if your computer is 64-bit, you can still get a Visual Studio Code setup that is compatible with your system configuration. If you have 32-bit, you can still get a Visual Studio Code that is compatible with your system. So currently, as you can see, the latest version is version 1.7, which is now available. So you can read about it. And in fact, when you go to this website, you will be able to see it written up there, just below the below the menu bar. You'll be able to see written version 1.7 is now available. Read about the new features and fixes from July. So they've been able to make some a few changes. They've been able to improve some aspect of the visual Studio Code, which I think is going to provide more functionalities for both people who are starting out, people who are just starting to learn about VS Code, and those people who have been able to set their foot uh, in use of this, or who have set their foot in development, and they're using VS Code as their primary code editor. So there are so many things you can be able to get from here about VS Code. You can be able to get the documentation. So basically, documentation explain to you how to start, how to get started using VS Code, and there are even uh, videos, right? They have also been able to list for you some of the top extensions that are used. Yeah, like later on, I'll show you how to use a live server. That is maybe some other day, but not today. I'll show you how you can use the live server when coding in not Code Igniter, but in VS Code. There's also information about setup. There is the overview, how you can install it or how you can set it up in various operating system. Remember, Studio Code is a cross-platform editor. It can run in Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. So there's so much information regarding Visual Studio Code from the website. So you can also see the updates. Yeah. So as you can see, uh, the previous version was 1.70.1. So they have also listed some of the issues that were plaguing this system. So they have written here, the update addresses these issues. So if you click issues, you will be given a page which will be able to uh, actually tell you or show you the kind of issues that were fixed, right? So some of the issues are here. As you can see, connection to mobile event data, Microsoft.com. There is bash shell script issue with percentage sign. There is terminal shell integration error. There is terminal error when starting VS Code from zip or Windows. There is post commit does not work. So these were some of the issues that have been fixed by the new version, that is version 1.70.2. So the issues have been updated, or they have been dealt with, and they've been sorted out for you to make your coding experience important. So apart from the documentation updates, there is also API. Yeah, so basically it tells you exactly what a Visual Studio Code does. So Visual Studio Code is built with extendability in mind. From the user interface to editing experience, almost every part of VS Code can be customized and enhanced through extension API, uh, application programming interface. So in fact, many core features of VS Code are built as extensions. So um, it is important and imperative to know that. Uh, the other area that I think it is important for anyone who is starting out on Visual Studio Code is basically the extension part. So with this part, you can be able to uh, basically see some of the extension, or basically the extensions that you can be able to install or add to your VS Code. So basically, what these extensions are able to do, they are able to extend your function, the functionality of VS Code. They are able to bring in um, an edge or some element of applicability that you can be able to utilize and make your programming efficient and fast enough. So the thing is to make your productivity improve and faster as you go along. So these are some of the extensions, uh, and you okay, there are those ones that you will use and there are those that you will not use. So basically the use of this extension uh, primarily rely on what are you doing, which one is efficient for you, because you will find that there are more than one extension that are able to do almost similar things. So sometimes your preference matters, and what you are coding or what you are writing also play a role in choosing these extensions that are provided here. Now, let's get back to our program as it is. So, I'm just going to show you some of the extensions that I've been able to install with in my VS Code, which I find useful. So, whenever you install this program, you'll always see these icons here. So there's one for use to explore, there's one for searching, there's one for source control, there's one for run and debug, then there's this bit that shows you the extension. So if you click on this part, you'll be able to see some of the extensions, and even from here you can be able to search for extension that you want to install. So you can, let's say I want uh, this extension called Fluent. uh, so Fluent is basically for the icon. So you'll find you'll find that there are so many uh, uh, extensions that have such names or like Fluent. So you have to be specific. So you can pick, if you know the name, you can just type it here on this search bar, then the search details or search results are going to be listed here, and so from here you can go ahead and install your extensions. Now, so going back, you can be able to see that I've been able to install a total of 14 extensions. So most of these extensions I've been able to install them. This is Fluent icon. It is basically what is able to make my icons look this way, because when you install, you'll realize that when you install this program, you'll realize that these icons, they are not like this. So basically that is the work of a Fluent icon. So we also have Git lens, which I've been able to install. There's also this live SAS compiler for compiling SAS codes into CSS. Then there's this live server extension that helped me to run and test uh, my codes on the go. So apart from that, I also have Git Bash for uh, running a git bash command. Then I also have VS Code icons for the icons and files and how they look like. So those are some of the extensions that I've been able to install, including this code stack theme. Basically, it brings in some element of presentable text written uh, on my eh, on the codes that I'm coming up with. So those are some of the extensions that I have. So Probably in my next video, I'm going to show you how you can be able to install Node.js, how you can be able to work with VS Code and Node.js to be able to pull up um, a good work, especially in coding. So thank you for watching this video. See you next time. Remember to like and subscribe